Hello students, how are you all? Hope you are fine at your place and you are using your free time in a very fruitful and entertaining way. Following the CBSE guidelines, our school has started the distance mode of education with the help of the video lessons which are supplemented with the worksheet. So from April 1 onwards, we are going to start our studies in a very routine and proper way. So to begin with, I'll pick up the important topic of grammar, that is voice. If we learn this topic in and out, we can bring in the desired linguistic accuracy in our communication skills. So let's start. So topic is voice. Today we'll do only two things about this topic. Number one is definition. Number two, identification. So how to define voice in grammatical terms? So let me write down two sentences to understand it in a very clear way. The sentence is, children are flying kites. So this is the sentence and this is active voice. If we write the same sentence in passive voice, it becomes kites are being flown by the children. So now let's see what's the difference between the two sentences. By the way, both the sentences give the same meaning. So where is the difference? Let's analyze. In the first sentence, let's find out the subject. And we are talking about children. So anything that we talk about is our subject. So children is subject. And what is being done? The activity being done by the children is to fly something. And what is that something? That is kites. So children are the subject of this sentence and the activity is to fly. Now who is the doer? Who is doing this activity of flying? Obviously children are doing this activity. So in this sentence the word children is the doer, children are the doer and children is the subject of our discussion also. Now let's move to the next sentence. If we talk about this sentence, find out the subject. Yes, what we are talking about? We are talking about kites. So kites is our subject of the discussion. Now what is the activity? Again, if you look at the verb phrase, this is fly again. Over here it is used the flown, which is the third form, you can say past participle of fly. So again the activity is to fly something, and who is the doer over here? Who is doing this activity? So this activity is being done by the children. Did you find the difference? In the first sentence, subject and the doer both are the same, but in second sentence, subject and doer both are different. So now we'll write down the definition. I think this difference is clear to all, and now let's make our own definition. Better you keep a notepad and pen in your hand so that you can take down all these things for the later reference. So voice is what? It is the mode of verb which shows whether subject and doer are the same or different. Let's read it once again. Voice is the mode of verb. It is the mode of the verb which shows whether the subject and the doer are the same or different. So, dear students, this is the definition of voice. Take it down in your notebook. Now, moving to next will be the definition of active voice and passive voice. We will learn along with the definition of active and passive also. So, let's find out and analyze and learn with the help of these written sentences only. Active voice, you see active voice, how to define? The active voice is that mode of the verb. You can take it down in your notebook also. Active voice is that mode of the verb in which subject and doer are the same. If we talk about the passive voice, then the definition will be that passive voice is that mode of the verb in which subject and doer are different. So once again, in active voice, subject and doer are the same, but in passive voice, subject and the doer are different. So in this way, we can make the difference between active and passive voice. Also, we can define the word voice. Now, we'll do a little about the identification. In our textbook also we find so many passages and paragraphs are there. They are full of sentences. If you are asked to pick out those sentences which are in active voice or which are in passive voice, so what is the key for that? So let's learn. I'll write again some sentences and we'll analyze the sentences and then learn. In passive voice especially, let me tell you one thing. In passive voice, B plus V3. This is the soul of any passive voice. Keep this thing in mind. If this is clear to you people, you can easily identify which sentence is in active voice and which one is in passive voice. B plus V3 means what? B has different 8 forms. We must know them. In present tense, present indefinite tense, B has the form of is, am and are. This is in present indefinite tense. In past indefinite tense, B becomes was or were. In continuous tenses, all the continuous tenses, B becomes being, and in all the perfect tenses, B becomes being. So how many forms? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and B itself. So in this way we know that B has 8 different forms. So any sentence in which you find any form of the B followed by third form of the verb, make sure that sentence is in passive voice. Otherwise, the sentence is in active voice. So today, this much is enough for you people. Definition. What is the definition of voice? And what is the definition and difference between active voice and passive voice? So we learned definitions and we learned how to identify active from passive. Let's take 1 or 2 more examples so that the things can become a little bit more clear. I write a novel. This is our sentence. Now I am writing the sentences and you have to find out which one is in active voice and which one is in passive voice. Let's do it together. A novel is written by me. Next sentence is, my brother has started a business. My brother has started a business. A business has been started by my brother. So well children, these are the 4 sentences and we have to find out. But whenever you are asked to identify and find out, keep this formula in mind. Now we'll apply this formula on all the 4 sentences and we'll try to make difference. So let's see, be form. Is there any be form? No. In this sentence, no be form is there. So it is very clear this is not passive sentence. Moving to the next one is, can we find any be form? Yes. This is the be form. Is the be form. So be form is there and be is closely followed by third form of the verb over here. So let's see whether third form means the past participle has been used or not. So next word is written, which is the third form of write. Write, wrote, written. So over here this formula is applicable. Be form is followed by third form of the verb and we can say this is passive sentence. Moving to the next sentence, let's see whether any be form is there or not. My brother has started a business. Obviously no be form is there. Moving to next, we find a business has been. Yes. Being is the form of, you can say third form of be itself. Be was being or be were being. So be is there, must be closely followed by, immediately followed by past participle and started. Yes. Start, started, started. So this is closely followed by started. So we find be and past participle. Obviously this is passive voice. So in this way you have to identify. So that's all for today, dear children. Tomorrow I'll bring the next part of the topic. Till then, keep learning and keep enjoying. Thank you.